What is up, you kayak freaks? Back at it again down here in the dungeon today. I got a new paddle. Not so new, but the Werner Cypress, or Cypress, however they say it. We're going to give you a little details about the specs of this paddle, why you might like it, why you might not like it, what you may do with it. But you don't like or subscribe. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Not really. It's fine. The Werner Cypress is a medium-sized blade when it comes to blade sizes in the kayak world. Another foam core blade with a V-dihedral and a nice scooped up tip. The back of the blade's nice and flat, which is really good for sculling. Nice for bracing, because when it starts having, you start seeing the line, some of the paddles that they glue in. They're paddles that aren't quite as good. Usually more affordable in the market to people that are just kind of doing it for fun, and people that are less ones that are in the actual industry. So this is another MCS, which stands for Modified Crankshaft. I'm sorry, Modified Crankshaft. As you can see here, the loom is bent. The bend is done slightly different than some other paddles that I've noticed. It actually has a good grip. This is a foam core blade, full carbon fiber on the loom and shaft also. It's a very lightweight blade. It's up among the top performing blades in the kayaking world, and Werner is definitely well known. The greatest thing about Werner is that you can just go into any shop and just grab one of these off the wall. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Werner just got bought out by somebody. Werner just got bought out by somebody, and they're still produced in the United States. So this blade has what they call a dihedral, and most kayak paddles have some form of this, especially in the upper end of them. You can see there's a V and a concave in this, and what it does is it pushes water evenly across the surface. It's supposed to be designed to give the blade less flutter. Do you get some flutter with this thing? I don't know. One thing this blade does offer, with it being foam core, is positive buoyancy. A lot of higher end paddles have this option. It's a foam core power face. So what it does is actually pops the paddle out of the water on your exit. So I'm not getting paid to say anything good or bad or whatever about it. This is all just my personal opinion, much like all my other videos, and you can argue it however you like. What I like may not be what you like. And to tell you the truth, you don't need to go out and buy an expensive paddle to enjoy a day on the water. In reality, it's all about the experience of just getting out there. And that's what I like most about kayaking. Anywho, the one thing I did notice about this, and I'm not sure if it was because of factory second or not, is the edge of the actual power face was a little sharp. I took some really, really fine, like 2000 grit wet sandpaper and just went around the edge a couple times and just took the edge off, but it was actually physically a little sharp. Really doesn't bother me. I'm a fix-it-myself kind of guy, which is good and bad. How many miles do I have on this? I probably only got like 100 miles on this. I used it a lot as a backup. I used it in a lot of pool sessions too at first, before I started using the Storm. So I definitely have some rolling experience with it. In the rolling category, it's fine. The hand position's a little different between both sticks, so when you go back and forth, you kind of got to remind yourself of where you're at with it. Other than that, even for the value, these are over 5. slightly over 5. You get a lot for your dough, you know. And Werner's a good company. If I snap this, I'd probably send it back and they'd fix it for cheap, I'm sure. You have this option, and then you have the Calliste, which is their other blade. It's a little bit larger than this. Probably the one I should have got, but no, it's good to have a little variety here. Alright, so they advertise this paddle to be about 719 grams. That's pretty light, and they're not wrong. It's a light paddle for sure, and the smaller face gives it a little more lightness to it. When you get a little bit of a bigger blade, it's going to weigh a little bit more. But anything under 800 grams, that's money right there. That's a nice light paddle. And for people that tour and paddle all the time, that's exactly what you want. Alright, so let's talk about their locking ferrule system. I'm not exactly sure what it's even called, but as you can see, there's a series of teeth, and then you have all your degrees just marked right on there. Pretty easy to read. And then on this section, there's actually a little hole poked in there, so you can see exactly where you're at. Actually, it's got a button, so you kind of just push the button, and then okay. And then popped up on the ferrule here, it says 0. Yeah, I paddle 0. You can paddle whatever degree you want. That's a video or discussion for a whole nother day. Let's see. A slight movement back and forth. I mean, that's normal. There's a little bit of play. I mean, it's nothing I'd be mad at. It's real slight, but it's tight. Kind of a good ferrule. And the thing is that you can change this on the fly, you know. Just like hit the button, pull it out a little bit. You know, you can kind of see where your degrees are here. I want, whatever, 45. Boom. And you're in. And it's locked. And it's stable. So, I give them props for this. I like the adjustability. I don't paddle canted. Some people do. It's up to you. Only time I paddle canted is for a headwind coming right at me. And I understand that I have to change my stroke and keep that in mind during the duration of the paddle. But as soon as I have the opportunity to put it back at my 0, that's basically what I do. Some people paddle canted all the time. It's personal preference. Just when you roll, you have to just realize that you're going to have to set up a little bit differently when you are paddling offset. But really cool lock system. I mean, these paddles are handmade in the U.S. I feel like for a small company, the craftsmanship here is solid. Like I said, I might have ordered a factory second that had a scratch or something on it, because I know, like, I'm going to push off of rocks. And I don't recommend that. You know, it's rocky up here in Connecticut in the lakes, so you're bound to encounter one. You know, they're everywhere. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you feel like it. If you got any questions, leave them down in the comments section. I might answer them. If there's any paddles out there you think you might want me to review, put them down in the comment section. Maybe I'll get one in. You never know. There's so many brands that make like really good paddles these days. Any of them that are in the mid to top tier, the full fiberglass or the full carbons, you're going to get your money's worth out of them. And they're usually fairly durable and lightweight. Hey man, drop me some comments. Like and subscribe. Would you just do it already? Happy paddling. Check you later.